Well, hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Hope everyone can hear me very well. I'm speaking at a very low tone because I have the microphone on. Finally. Hope everyone having a fantastic morning. It's a beautiful day. And as you can tell, I'm sitting in the car on our way to a unspecific destination. But I'm here today to talk about our bookstore. And that road needs to work. And our bookstore is called We Are Living in the Finished Work Bookstore. And we're connected to Amazon, but we also have our own website. And we have over 75 published texts. Many of them are ebooks, many of them hardbacks, a lot of them are paperback. And I just want to share just a few with you so you have a greater understanding what we have. But some of you may need these books. A lot of them cover theology, some cover technical technology, other talk about business and business development that you can use every day, especially if you're looking to start a business. Others talks about wellness and how and proper preparation of food that can be healthy for you. We have other books that have it's more of a guide for a year of tracking your progress through eating healthy, living healthy, and you can track your progress, even exercise. I mean, if you exercise every day, you drink water, how much water did you drink? How much food did you eat? That sort of thing. So you can always look back and say, okay, this is what I ate. That's why I'm feeling this way. Or this helped me to lose 10 pounds because I followed the steps. So we're going to talk about that too. And my wife and I are both authors. My name is Reverend Dr. Antonio Arnold. And many of you know my credentials, but I have a lot. And I just finished another course in regards to artificial intelligence and a lot of the chat. There's so much, all these AI apps that are out there, each one have their own operating system. It's a tool. And it's you can utilize them, but if you don't know what tools they have within, then you have no idea what the potential it could do for you. But the books I want to talk about, number one, I'm gonna go ahead and start with my wife's book, and this book is called Certified Integrated Nutrition Health Coach, Second Edition. Now, this second edition is an extension of her first book, okay, from integrated health coach student to certified integrated nutritional health coach, which my wife is, okay? And it covers some wonderful topics about healthy recipe, enjoyable and quick to prepare, which is enjoyable and quick to prepare. Each recipe can be made in just minutes. Especially those of you who are in a hurry or you got a tight schedule and you need something quick to get you through the day, or something quick when you get home from work and you're tired, or a quick breakfast. Each recipe is earmarked for you. Will give you a great balanced diet, okay? Not too much, not too little, but just the right amount of protein, the right amount of carbohydrates, right amount of nutrition that your body needs. And it's all about clean eating, healthy cooking, okay? Choosing the best proteins, and which I already mentioned, carbohydrates, which is the best one for you. Facts about grain and healthy fat. You know, a lot of us don't know what's the right grain to consume. Information about the industrial foods and benefits of organic foods. If you look at a normal grocery store, if you walk in, I always encourage everyone, and my wife does a lot too when she do her vlogs, is read the label. If you don't read the label, you don't know what you're consuming, especially when dealing with boxed frozen processed foods. Read what's in there. If there's something that you cannot pronounce and you look it up, uh, you find out that it's not healthy for your body, don't purchase it. Always do your due diligence and research what you are about to consume. And I'm telling you, I've been the biggest guilty party of this because I've been consuming food that's been detrimental to my health for years. I always thought every food was healthy and nutritious. And come to find out, as the industry transitioned to a more profit-based industry, now I'm finding out I have oil in my food. I'm talking about crude oil. I'm having chemicals that does not benefit my body but causes issues to my body, okay, and my health. So you want to read. This is a good read. It's available in paperback and hardback. It gives you tips for achieving and maintaining an ideal weight. Lately, I've been maintaining weight, and sometimes again it depends on what I eat. But when I stick to this guide, I can see the result. I have more energy, have more stamina. Uh, you need a guide to help you out. And I'm telling you, the recipes out of this world. The recipes are delicious. Now, in this paperback, of course, the pictures of the food is in black and white because we want to keep it the price point at a reasonable rate. Now, if you want to see it in full color, I encourage you to get the hardback because it has the quality paper that's beautiful. That would definitely give you a greater detail of the food that you are about to prepare as part of that recipe. And it's cost a little bit more, but it depends on what price point that you want to be. If you want the paperback, you're going to pay less. If you want the hardback, you're going to with full color. Of course, you're going to pay more. Okay, but it's great information in there. And she talks about the Dirty Dozen and Clean 15. Her next other topic, she talks about decoding food label claims. You got it. You got it. Okay. Need some water? Okay. And it comes with other additional helpful tips. Now, this is her book. Now, I have changed the front cover. Okay. So if you go to Amazon, you're not going to see this. You're going to see her face, but it's going to be a different photograph. Okay. But all this information is the same. So definitely go on Amazon, get your copy, or go to wearelivinginthefinishedwork.com. It's a great website. It's a ministry. It's the intent of the website is ministry, but it makes sense. It's a bookstore as well. Okay. And it answers some important questions. You got folks, if you're studying theology or looking to attend seminary, it has a lot of information. You want to learn about your Christian heritage or Christian history or how church government, they call it denomination, but church government is set up. And why are they so different? What theological support belief do they hold more to theologically and some that hold less to? So you want to look at that as well. I mean, the book covers a lot of random. I'm just looking at this delicious chicken, roasted whole chicken. Oh my goodness. I'm not going to read the ingredients that she put here, but one thing I will say, it is worth the preparation. You will enjoy for years to come. And I'm looking at this sweet Savior ground beef and cauliflower. You have special guests coming over to your house and you prepare this sweet and Savior ground beef cauliflower dish. I'm telling you, they will be talking about you for days. I mean, you prepare a meal worth sharing with friends, relatives, especially when you have guests come over your house. And there's a book that covers about also another book that we both published. It's about I can't even think of the name of the title that quick. But it's about decorium, It's about the beauty of your home. That's basically what it talks about. Goes to the point. How to set your house up for first impression. And when you have guests or visitors. Because the first thing they're going to see is that driveway. First thing they will see is your steps. And what people look at you as the homeowner or household is based on that first thing they see. Is the grass cut? Is your lawns beautiful? Is your bushes are trimmed? Did you power wash your sidewalk? The sidewalk is beautiful and pristine clean. Did you got what do you call it, algae all over your house? Or does it need painting? That sort of thing. People look at that stuff and they're gonna either say nothing, or they're gonna say, "Oh, you have such a wonderful home," because they want to feel. You want your guests to feel comfortable and welcomed. All right, especially when you actually want to come on, spend the night with me, and they walk in and it's like total chaos. I'd be ready to get a hotel. But yeah, back to this book. It talks about traditional versus industrial fat. It talks about the carbohydrate. It gives you an education. It even talks about 100% grass fed, the difference between 100% grass fed and non grass fed, pasture raised, and I'm telling you, I'd rather buy a chicken that's out in the open that has less stress on the meat, and because the quality meat does show, than meat that was raised and processed in a environment that is like a prison system of congested, you know, thousands of birds clamped together, walking over each other, and there's no really good ventilation or something like that. So that's something you want to take in consideration. I prefer grass-fed meat and pasture-raised poultry. And this book covers it, guys. Great deal of information. A lot of people taking it for granted because, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's the geography, the culture, maybe that's maybe the case. But this book is selling internationally. And it's reaching people across the country as well that I have noticed. And the key, and I'm not going to get to that part, but the key is the book being presented online. And we have a lot of sources, hundreds of thousands of sources out there that talks about this book that's on. So get your copy today. It's available. You can go to wearelivinginthefishwork.com bookstore, or you could go to go to Amazon.com. Just type in the title of the book. All you had to do is search or type in Sheila's name, Sheila Arnold. Books by, go to Amazon, type her name, and the books will show up. Or you can type in my name, the books will show up. A lot of books will show up if you type in my name. But Certified Integrated Nutritional Health Coach Second Edition is a book worth the price point. It's worth the difference, because if you want to desire healthy eating, and Sheila being a health coach, you got to copy her certificates in there, so you'll know she's not speaking on something that she don't know. She's speaking of something that she do know, and that she is certified. She also holds a master's degree as well in human services, and she knows what she's talking about. I've been married to her for 30 years, so I know. So you definitely want to get this copy for yourself, or it makes a great gift for that individual that you love, like your grandma. Hey, mom, try some of these recipes. Try them out; they're delicious. I'm looking at this savory breakfast, baked sweet potato and bacon. And you know, sweet potato is better for you than white potatoes. So if you know some sweet potato recipe, this book has it. If you're looking for a low, how would you say her name? Not low carb. What's that other thing? Yeah, low carbs. What would you call it? If you're looking for a low carb alternative to eating, then the traditional food preparation that you've been passed on that has put pounds on you, you want to consider this book. Definitely want to consider this book. But I'm not going to mention everything, but this book speaks for itself. Get your copy today. All right? And you'll see, and always look for my wife's picture. It's on there. Okay? The new book has a new picture. All right. Next book. I would love to see more individuals purchase this book. Now, it's available on ebook. It's available on hard copy. It's available on paperback. This is a paperback copy. Now, I have two editions. One is the second edition or more upgraded condition because it has photographs in it. The other one does. It has just plain good information about our innovators. I mean, Anyone tell me who created the traffic light? Who created the we call that little gun, the little squirt bug gun? I forgot the name of that little gun. But anyway, the super soaker. Who created that? Hmm? All those super soakers you've been buying out there came from an individual. And I'm here to tell you, it's in this book. This is Juneteenth, because the letter didn't get to nobody until about 2 years later. I'm an Emancipation Proclamation guy. Whatever Saul and Law, that was done deal. I'm from Virginia, and Grant's Army was here early, so that's my focus. But you should know and seek to become innovators like this individual right here. And she's from Richmond. And she took direct sales to another level because a lot of the stores at the time wouldn't take her product. You even name a school out there. You know what I'm talking about. The book covers it. If you ever wonder how the iron board was improved, that came from innovators like this woman. What about the street sweeper? Where did that come from? It came from an individual like this woman. It was a man who did it. Improvements on the filament on your light bulb was developed by a man of color. Now, the light bulb that Thomas Edison did it. But who improved it to keep it from burning out? Read my book. I'm not going to give out names because I want you to get this book. So if you're celebrating June in the commemoration, the spirit of celebrating Juneteenth, you owe it to yourself, get this book. And get the paperback. Get the hardback. Or go to the Amazon and get the ebook. All right? This book right here is called The Trailblazer of Innovation. I'm going to hear you say it again. Trailblazers of Innovation by Antonio Arnold. Discovering the unseen contribution of African Americans inventors to spotlight the overlooked achievement of African Americans innovators whose work has shaped everyday life, from household items, guys, to advanced technology. I come from a line of innovators. Some of you come from a line of innovators that has changed life in your local community, changed life on a state level or a national level or even international levels. But unless you share the story, a lot of the story is forgotten. When was the last time your teacher talks about great innovators of our times? Amen? The book covers the legacy of innovation. And this book was designed to, and as the Lord led me, to inspire. We got enough in the negativity. I want to inspire youth and youth in heart to take that extra step. That's why I keep myself engaging on innovational products that I can develop that will help humankind. That's what it's all about. I started a series of books to educate, to inspire, to give people a whole different way of thinking. If we read more, we learn more. Okay? In this book, it covers the legacy of innovations. It talks about everyday innovation, the household revolution. It talks about transforming the transportation, the wheels of change. That's what I'm talking about. Communicating breakthroughs, connecting the dots. Technology beyond shaping the future. Cultural impact, the intersection of art and innovation. I want us to get back to being innovators. I want to see young children just have a desire to become doctors or scientists that can create methods that will save lives for generations to come. I want to see innovators who graduate from high school, young people, all people, basically, that will be led and have the desire in technology that will create a device that will give us a better, make things simpler for us. I'm telling you, we take it for granted. We got air conditioning in our car. We got freezer trucks. We got trucks with a refrigerated freezer in it so they can transport meat to keep this meat from spoiling. We got refrigerated trains, right? Where did all this come from? If there's a better way to do something, then that's an opportunity for you to create a system or a device or an idea that will help people live a better life. Someone has developed a device for the desert community that will extract humidity, water from the air and make drinking water. It's just like a big old fan or antenna, in a way. And it will channel that air. It will condense that water, where it's become more droplet, and it will flow and flow out where it will fill gallons. I'm talking about it will continually run. I'm amazed at how much water is around the planet that we can't see, that is evaporated, that is invisible to us. But a guy has created a device that will extract water from the air for human consumption or for agriculture that's only two: human consumption and agriculture. Just think, how many of you have thought about having an idea? There's a better way that people can live in a desert where there's water not available. Even if you dig 100 feet deep, there's no water table, but there's water all around the planet. And you're in a desert community like the Sahara Desert, and you are able to extract water because you understand the science, you understand the molecule, you understand H2O, the atomic structure of it, and you figure out a way to extract water from the air to physical water where it can coagulate together, and where people can start, instead of dying of thirst, they can have water, abundant water for the rest of their lives. And then they can grow food. When you have more water, you can grow food to eat, and you have grow food for your cattle or for your birds, for your poultry. So you're creating an environment where people can be sustained no matter where they live on the planet. That's innovation. But to get there, you have to be willing to indulge and focus yourself. I can't remember the word I want to say, but you really want to dive in to your studies and get into an academic program that's going to take you there to do that kind of innovation. A lot of these folks that are doing this were inspired because of folks like this. The book also covers the cultural impact, like I just said earlier, the spirit of entrepreneurship, building a legacy. I didn't know there's billionaires. I mean, there's billionaires all over the place, right? But did you know there's black billionaires all over I'm talking about American black billionaires, not African. I'm talking about American black billionaires who build industry by building what? Commercial property. Did you know there's one in South Carolina that his children are set for the rest of their life? However, they have to continue to master the skills that was passed on to them. If you have a child and you're teaching your child to become your replacement, to leave an inheritance to, that child has to be committed to want to maintain a certain lifestyle. In order to do that, they have to learn what you learned. Here's the story. When I was working at Triangle Dodge or / Dominion Chevrolet, I have come in contact with the owner of the company, and I learned so much from him. And I hope you don't mind, Mr. Earnhardt. I hope you don't mind me mentioning your name. But I learned from him in not a meeting, and he shared his story and his passion, how his father had him learn every part of the business. When he was young, he had to learn how to work on cars. And cars, he had to know every inch of the product. He had to be certified. He had to be trained on every. Why is he in school and why is he in college? He had to learn every aspect of the business. And then when he learned the cars, how to work on them, how to repair them, how to provide good service, he learned how to work on that on the front customer and the service department. He had to understand parts, how to order, how to maintain inventory. Okay, then he has to learn sales and the sales department, the service department, and your sales department are your bread and butter of your business because you're doing warranty maintenance, right? But you got to sell the product too, so people can bring the car back for what? Warranty work or service work. So he has to learn every aspect of the business, even the accounting, the payroll. He had to learn the budget. He had to learn expense. He had to learn about the real estate side of it. He had to learn the legal side when it comes to property tax, the legal guidelines, how far he can go, what he can do, and what the limitation was based on law. He has to learn all these things. And every business owner who's teaching their children should be willing to learn the same thing. Okay? Entrepreneurship or capitalism is the way to go. But if you love working for individuals, work for a company that cares about people and products and provide good service. Because you have a leadership that owns the company, and the company hires good leadership. They're going to maintain what? They're going to maintain long-term individuals who's going to stick with it, who know they're earning a good wage, got good benefits as far as health insurance, healthcare, retirement. Biggest thing people are looking for is healthcare and retirement. But if that's so like so many, and let's say you work for this company and you see areas they can improve, and you have an idea, and they didn't take on that idea, right? You shared it with them, and they said, you're nuts. And you say, well, okay, I'll create my own company, and I will offer a service to companies like the company you work for, right? You created yourself a legacy. You created yourself a business. You created yourself a service that provide for companies that you used to work for that will provide income for the rest of your life. And then you can hire representative to provide that service, paying them either a commission or a salary. That's the spirit of entrepreneurship, building a legacy. You want to build a legacy for the long term. Every time I run into a guy who owns a mobile service business, like I'm working on cars and trucks, mobility, he'll take the service to you instead you had to go to their garage, and that help offset the cost. Well, how many trucks do you need that's loaded up with equipment to do repairs to a vehicle at the owner's home? How many trucks do you need to expand your business? The sky's the limit, guys. Don't think about I'm the only one that's going to provide this service. Because when you die, that's the end of your service. If you become sick or ill, that's the end of your service. Okay? You're out of business. Your income stops. But when you can hire people, reinvest in the company, reinvest in yourself, reinvest in professional development for your people, for your staff, and to set them for success, then your business will not only grow, but you will have thousands of independent individuals working for you, being at places that you can't go. All right? I hope somebody gets that. Instead of having what? Okay, you want to open up. You want to have a sanitation service where you pick up garbage in rural area. How many dump trucks do you need? I see a guy with a trailer with the name of the company dealing with garbage removal, and they have these same devices that will reach out, grab the trash, dump it in there. I saw the truck myself. Just think if he had 20 trucks, 30 trucks, he's creating not only jobs, but he's also in contributing to improve the environment. Okay, at a reasonable cost. Right, right. So those are things you want to think about, something that you have that you're good at, and provide a service. I went back to school and learn AI, and now I'm learning AI to become a contractor. Down the road, I'm looking to become a contractor as a analyst. Look at your business, look at your costs, what things need to be cut, where is your business losing money on. Those are things I like to do. Those are things I'm studying right now, to become an analyst as an advisor to entrepreneurs and business owners. That's my goal. And I'm on another one I'm going to talk about as far as a veterans benefit. I'm an advisor to a lot of veterans and mentor. What else? The vision of the future. African American breaking barriers and inventors. Conclusion, honoring the trailblazer. So this book covers a lot, guys. Beep, beep. There's no excuse for not reaching your full potential. Don't tell me this country does not have. Did he hold his middle finger? Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, that's fine. Now, I just lost my train of thought. Oh my goodness. I just read them. But anyway, this book covers a lot, guys. We do want to inspire you to take the next step in your life. There's a lot of opportunities in this country. You got people coming from other countries because their country would not allow them to take advantage of opportunity or develop because of not just because of their race, because what tribe they come from. They all look the same. What region they come from. What's your last name? Who is your chief? Who is your leader? Facing hardship because these individuals, and I'm going to say, I know it's in India for sure, where they exclude a group of people who looks exactly like them from opportunities, while they keep their group, because they won the war 1,000 years ago, on top. And that makes no sense. And that's why American people come for the American dream. But here's my thing. If you come for the American dream, be part of the American dream too, and not the American nightmare. Don't bring a nightmare over here. Be part of the solution. Don't be part of the problem. And don't create the problem. Okay? I'm all about legal immigration because you're going to bring something to contribute. Right? Not to take away. Not to take away from me or any other person that is born here. All right? That's the first priority. And no, I'm not running for office, but if I ever run for office, my priority would be the American people first. But you definitely want to get this book. I even have the diagrams here. I even have the pictorial diagram. I mean, think about this, guys. Think about you're a barber or you work at a hair salon. And I remember the days I was in a barber shop years ago. And I used to sweep the floors there. And being part of that family of barbers and keeping that place clean, there was always on that chair a razor blade sharpener. And you wonder, I wonder who came up with the idea with that razor blade sharp, where that barber could slide that thing like this back and forth, and then give me a good shave. That was developed by a entrepreneur, by not just an entrepreneur, by an innovator who looks like me. And this is the device right there. It shows it in the book in full color. The straight razor with a hanging strap, razor strapping device. That's what it's called. Think about that. I mean, this is great for public schools, guys. If you're teaching children history, especially in Black History Month, you want to emphasize this book because this book talk about that. It talks about the innovation of people of color. Now, I'm going to do a book about innovators of Germany. I'm going to do the innovation of Latinos. I'm going to do that. That'll be probably my next book. And it's probably in Spanish or Deutschland. But, I mean, you have a world of history of people who have created something that we are utilizing today. And we don't want to miss that. I want to encourage your children to step up their game academically. Teachers, I want you to teach, show them the example, and inspire them to step up the game. Don't just pass them because don't just accept mediocre standards. Inspire them to do better. Parents, I'm holding you accountable too. Inspire your children to do better. We're living in a situation right now. We have the best of everything. This is not 1834. This is not 1622. This is not 1786. This is 2026. The best time is now. There's nothing holding you back except you. There's nobody holding you back except you. Teach your children to have pride in the innovation that was the path that was paved for them. And you, as a parent, pave that path for your children. And I hope I'm reaching someone. I'm really do because I want to encourage you to do it. You build a lifestyle through teaching. Don't teach your children to live a lifestyle of destruction without accountability. Dr. George W. Washington Carver. Yes, in the Jim Crow era, that man would have developed so many wonderful things. And there's no excuse for us. There's no excuse for you or anyone. I mean, I have the whole list of accomplishments of George Washington Carver. He's born on his birthday coming up. Matter of fact, he's born in July 12th, Diamond Grove, Missouri. That's where he was born. You see that? He's settling in Kansas. Didn't know that, did you? I have their stories. I read their books. I learned about them when I was in high school and in college. It's getting hot out here. And guys, you don't want to miss this opportunity. I took a lot of time, a lot of research to put this book together that even a student can get. A 12-year-old or a 15-year-old can just get it and say, I want to do better. You want to do better, brothers and sisters. I'm not just speaking to our brothers and sisters. I want to inspire all people. I don't care about fur. But you can do it if you put your mind to it. You got to put your mind to it. Parents, encourage your children to do better. Be there when help them with their studies. Okay? The days of mama can't read or dad that got a third grade education is over. The day of my father who has a high school diploma back in 1952 was extraordinary. There's nothing holding you back but you. So get this book. Get this book. You gonna take a break? Okay. Yeah. First come, first serve. Yo, go ahead and knock yourself. I'm good still. I'm still good. I ain't drinking any water either. It's beautiful. This rest stop is beautiful. Would you please turn back on the light? Please. Yeah, how the fuck we get that? It's right behind you. I get it. Call Jesse, let him know. Yeah, go ahead. Away? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, just go ahead and I'll turn the volume down. So make sure you take it off Bluetooth though. So I won't pick it up. Yeah. Go ahead, call it. Yeah, because I'm still live right now, and I don't want to get into personal conversations. I'm gonna see if I can figure out how to pause this. No, I can't pause it. It's better, like I said, to forgive my wife. My wife is on the mode, and my sister we're on our way to visit my sister. But I wanted to. She got to get going. Told her to take it off Bluetooth. But anyway, Delphine, she was trying to reach you. I'm gonna tell her to take it off Bluetooth. Sheila, take it off Bluetooth. Cut off your Bluetooth. I'm getting your calls. Anyway, you gotta learn technology. I'll tell you. My wife just have to. Okay, now I'm back. But yes, guys, definitely, this book is amazing. This book is amazing. And I think I've turned this down just a bit. But yeah, how many you know, how many of you know who invented the uh, no, I'm not gonna talk about that one. I'm not gonna talk about that one. Let's see who I want to talk about. I'm gonna read one to you, at least one. And I hope this helps you. You ever heard of the real McCoy? How many of you ever heard of the real McCoy? You're the gentleman, the gentleman who invented a wonderful device for the railroad. His name is Elijah McCoy. Everybody ever heard of Elijah McCoy? This inventor was born in 1843 during slave time in Colchester, Ontario, Canada. Remember, the British Empire had eliminated slavery, just eliminated slavery and the slave trade, except for the United States. His parents were former slave George and Mildred McCoy. Nee Coins has fled to Kentucky for Canada on the Underground Railroad. George McCoy enlisted in the British forces. In return, he was rewarded the 160 acres of land for his services. When Elijah was 3, his family moved back to the U.S., settled in Detroit, Michigan. He had 11 brothers and sisters. In 1868, Elijah McCoy married Anna Elizabeth Stewart, who died 4 years later. A year later, McCoy married his second wife, Mary Eleanora Delina. The couple have no children. At the age of 15, Elijah McCoy served as a mechanical engineer apprenticeship in Edinburgh, Scotland. So you need to tell me this young man, whose family, his mother and fathers were slaves, and they lived in Ontario, Canada, where he grew up. He had the opportunity to go to Scotland to learn engineering. Let me keep on. Let me get going. In 1868, this is right after the American Civil War, and he went to school. Afterward, he returned to Michigan to pursue a position in his field. However, the only job he found was that of a locomotive fireman and oiler for the Michigan Central Railroad. The firemen on the train were responsible for fueling the steam engine, and oiler lubricated the engine moving parts as well as the train axle and bearing. Did you know how important that job was? Because of his training, he was able to identify and solve problems of engine lubrication and overheating. See, he was working a job that's outside his engineering field, and he saw an opportunity to solve a problem. At that time, trains needed a periodically stop to be lubricated to prevent overheating. This is a fact. Elijah McCoy developed a lubricator for steam engines that did not require the train to stop. His lubricators used steam pressure to pump oil wherever it was needed. I'll take care of that. As you can tell, my wife is back. Okay. Elijah McCoy was issued his first patent. The U.S. patent number 129,843. So those historians who want to verify. On July 12, 1872. Still during Jim Crow, after the Union Army, the occupation army, left the South, but he was in Michigan. Okay? In 1876, for his improvements of the lubricator for the steam engine, McCoy continued to improve upon his design and invented several more improvements. Railroads and shipping lanes began using McCoy's new lubricator, and the Michigan Central Railroad promoted him to an instructor in the use of his new invention. Now, he got the patent. Later, Elijah McCoy became a consultant to the railroad industry on the patent matter. In his final years of 1920, McCoy opened his own company. I want you to say this again. And it doesn't matter what your age. This is his later age. In his final years, in 1920, Elijah McCoy opened his own company, the Elijah McCoy Manufacturing Company. And then years, unfortunately, he suffered in his later years, enduring a financial, mental, and physical breakdown. McCoy died on October 10th, 1929 from dementia, okay, caused by hypertension after spending a year in the Ellis Infirmary in Michigan. He was in a mental institution. He was in a mental institution. Such a brilliant young man. Not just a brilliant young man, a brilliant man altogether. And years go by and he developed dementia. But he created something that is still used today. This lubricator is still used in automobiles. This lubricator design is still used in locomotives, aircraft. Everything you think about it has lubrication, self-lubricating. Is in everything we use to this day that we take for granted. That's where the word, the real McCoy, comes from. So you owe it to yourself to learn the stories about these businesses and about these individuals who have faced hardship, some challenges, but yet they took those challenges to turn them into opportunities. I had a background in electronics technology, and the only jobs I could have got was working at McDonald's. So I utilized the leadership I've learned from the military and applied that to get promoted to manager. And then move forward back into technology where I am now, doing AI. So all because you end up somewhere that you're not looking for, there's always an opportunity to solve a problem, to be an innovator, to create something that will change your life. Let's go to the next one. I just want to hit a couple. I just want to inspire you. Let's see. Nope. Nope. I thought about him. Yes. Now, let's talk about breaking barriers. In 1721, you ever heard of this guy, Onesimus? He was a property of the Puritan leader, developed a cure for smallpox. Did you know a slave created a cure for smallpox? Did you know that, honey? In 1721. Benjamin Banneker, you ever heard of him? In 1731, he died, of course, in 1806. The African-American farmer, self-taught mathematician, and astronomer. We ain't got no excuse, guys. He self-taught himself math and astronomy. Banneker was born in Maryland and spent most of his life on a tobacco farm. He inherited from his father. Okay? I thought there was slavery back then. I thought everybody was a slave. No, it wasn't. Not everybody was a slave. He was born in Maryland and spent most of his life on the tobacco farm he inherited from his father. Although he received little schooling, Banneker demonstrated exceptional scientific ability. At age 22, he constructed a clock made entirely of wood. Come on, let's go to the science fair on that one, right? Okay? With each gear carved entirely by what? Hand. All right? In 1789, U.S. President George Washington appointed Banneker to the commission charged with planning the construction of what? Washington, D.C. With Major Andrew Elcott, he helped survey the site of the nation's national capital between 1791 and 1793. We're talking about Benjamin Banneker. Everybody should know his name. If you're living in D.C., you should know this man, Benjamin Banneker. Banneker also became widely known as the compiler of the Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia Almanac, an information published annually from 1791 to 1802. He sent the manuscript of the first almanac to revolutionary leaders and future U.S. presidents, Thomas Jefferson, then Secretary of State at the time. With the manuscript, Banneker included a letter in which he protested slavery and disputed Jefferson's claim that blacks were intellectually inferior to white. This man is a self-taught mathematician, mind you. He has a superior mind, a superior brain. We all got the opportunity to do great things. There's no man or human greater than the next one. He was an abolitionist, used the almanac as evidence of the intellectual capabilities of blacks. That's why we got to continue to thrive and learn and reach our full potential. I'm encouraging you, mothers and fathers, to encourage your children to reach your full potential, including yourself. Go back to school, take a class that will help you in your industry that you're working in. Now, I'm going to read one more. I'm trying to put it all together. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out which one I want. Oh, yes. I want to tell you this story. Okay, here you go. Now, I'm telling you stories of a time where not Jim Crow was there, but slavery was real. James Fortune was born in 1776 as a free black man in Philadelphia. And the year was 1776. What? Pennsylvania. Over the course of his lifetime, he would make an impact upon the fortunes of industries and the lives of his fellow men. Fortune was the son of Thomas and Sarah Fortune, and the grandson of slaves. He was raised in Philadelphia, educated in Anthony Vincent Quaker School for Colored Children. So is there religious organizations that were earmarked to help us reach our full potential? Yes. The Quaker Religious School for Colored People gave people like ourselves, our ancestors, an opportunity. It's real talk. Learn how to read, write, do math. At age 8, James began working for Robert Bridge, selling loaf, and worked alongside his father. A year later, his father died in a boating accident, and James was forced to take additional work to provide for his family. He had to grow fast. When he turned 14, he worked as a powder boy during the Revolutionary War on a Royal Lewis sailing ship. After being captured by the British, of course he served in the Continental Navy. After being captured by the British, he was released and returned home to again begin work in Mr. Bridget's loft. Pleased with his work and ambition, Mr. Bridge eventually appointed him to the foreman position in the loft. That's a promotion. In 1798, Bridge decided to retire and wanted Fortin to remain in charge of the loft. He loaned enough money to Fortin to purchase the loaf, and soon James owned the business. What? In 17 what? In 1798, a black young man owned a business? Sure did. Employed had 38 people he employed. Around this time, Fortin began experimenting with different types of sails for ships and finally invented one that he found was better suited for maneuvering and maintaining greater speed. From a man who grew up knowing sails and ships. Although he did not patent the sail, he was able to benefit financially, and his sailing loft became one of the most successful and prosperous one in Philadelphia. The fortunes he soon made was enormous for any man, black or white. He became a rich man. Fortin spent his money and lived a luxurious life. But he also made good use of his resources on people other than himself. More than half of his considerable fortune was devoted towards abolitionist cause. That's where the Republican came from. The Republican Party was a party that was created from abolitionists. He also purchased slave freedom. He helped to finance and bring in funding for William Garrison newspaper. Let me pause for a moment. My wife's about to make a turn. I don't want to confuse her. We are approaching Raleigh. Yep, there we are. I'm going to continue. The Libertarian opened his home on Lombard Street as an underground railroad depot and opened a school for black children. Now, this is a millionaire doing this. James Fortin died in 1842 after living an incredible life. His early years were devoted to providing for his mother. His middle years towards building on his fortune and supporting his family. His later years to uplifting his fellow man. He was not only a great inventor, but he is an even greater man. I'm going to stop right there. Get your book, get this copy. Get your copy today. You know, a lot of times as innovators, most of these innovators didn't get their glory or success or wealth until their later years. Years of struggle, years of fighting, years of ambition, years of go-get-it spirit, years I am not going to quit. And now, at the time before he died as a multimillionaire, as a man who gave to his community, provided school, education for children that normally wouldn't get an education. What he done was no small feat. And I said this to encourage you to go forward. Don't get yourself in midst with individuals who have no ambitions, whether it's family, friends, or associates. If you're trying to get somewhere, leave the ones who have no ambitions alone. Sometimes we have to be by ourselves to reach our greatest potential, to make a difference, to build a legacy, to be a innovator where people's lives are changed forever in the future. And last, I want to talk about this book. And I may do another video. This book I created to help veterans. When I was first started coming off active duty, I had problems. I was discovering I had medical conditions that were causing me problems while I was on active duty. And I had to look to the future. So I started preparing. And I started asking questions. And I started reading. I started documenting, doing all this on my own. Learning what post-active military service will be. And when I came off active duty with all these medical issues and all this pain and all this limitation of movement, fighting my way to go to work every day on my civilian job, I knew there were benefits out there. But then I knew there has to be a way that I could solve a problem for myself. And after I learned how to solve my own problems, I wanted to solve the problems, have a solution for veterans like myself who don't understand the process or what they must do prior to coming off active duty, or what they must do while still on active duty, reserve, National Guard. So I created this book, The Art of Filing for Veterans Disability Benefits, Maximizing Your Benefits, a comprehensive guide to achieving up to 100%. Up to. I have helped a lot of veterans. 2 of my veterans that I have helped with 0% or 20% are now 80%. Are you hearing me? One still working the process of getting his 100%. This book is a step-by-step guide. A lot of good information about benefits that you may not have even considered. Information of other financial benefits that you could obtain, or grants, not grants, grants that you could obtain for the wellness of your home. If you're having trouble getting in that tub or stepping in that shower, or you're in a wheelchair or walker, and you got a shower that's higher up, and you're having struggles getting in there, it's not enough space for you and your walker or your wheelchair, there's a grant that will help you get the funds you need through the VA to get a shower installed. And there's also grants outside within your state that will help you pay the difference, because they're quite expensive. Some of you need your kitchen renovated to a point where it could be adjusted, where you could have access to basic equipment within your kitchen that you can use without having to get assistance. So you want to get this book. Now, I have upgraded the book in behalf of the spouse, because a lot of spouses don't know what to do when their spouse passed away who's receiving benefits, especially those who are 100% or die as a result of their disability, based on their disability, service-connected disability. That's the word I was looking for. So I added some additional information that I want to read off for the spouse, because everything else is self-explanatory. If you are a spouse, you want to get this book. If you are a spouse, you want to get the hard copy of this book. It's in color. It's worth every penny. Because many of you are going to face this. if you're not already, and you don't know what to do. Well, here it is. In one chapter, I call it Understanding VA Special Monthly Compensation, Special Compensation, and DIC. DIC. Now, DIC stands for Dependency Indemnity Compensation. Dependency and indemnity compensation. That's the correct way to pronounce it. But the DIS is a special tax-free, right, benefit for surviving spouse, children, or parents of service member who died on the line of duty. I'm going to say that again. DIC is a monthly, somebody's not going to get this. I hope you do. Is a monthly tax-free. Go watch that car right there. There you go. A monthly tax-free benefit for surviving spouse, children, or parents of service member who died on the line of duty. So these guys who have passed away, who were stationed in Iraq or stationed anywhere in the world, and they died from a line of duty. These individuals can apply for this benefit, okay? Or veterans who died as a result of a service-connected condition. That is service-connected, recognized by the VA. So I have a service connection with my heart, okay? If I have a heart attack and died, it will be considered he died as a result of his service connection. All right? If you have Agent Orange and you died as a result of some symptoms of Agent Orange, then that's considered he died from service connection. All right? Now, let me read off to qualify requirements, okay? The survivor must meet specific criteria to include marriage durations, not married the day of dying. You have been married for a while. Dependency status, and veteran disability rating prior to the death. So in other words, you have to have a disability rating for a service-connected condition that you died from. It has to be rated. As of 2025, and this is based on DIC rating, for a survivor spouse is approximately $1,600. Now that is, wow, a small amount compared to what your spouse was receiving in disability, okay, or from active duty service. So the first individual dies as a result of service-connected disability, there's a connected rating. The benefit stops off at $1,600 a month. And additional allowance for dependent children and aid and attendance need. Like say your spouse have aid and attendance need, and you die as a service-connected. It was rated as a service-connected. Now, if you died from a non-service-connected, then that's it. You can't get it. Your spouse will not get it. It either has to be from a line of duty or a service-connected. Okay? That's where your death is, if you die from that. Now, when that service member passed away or that veteran passed away, you have to report to the VA that's receiving these checks to cease and desist, because you are no longer, the household, the person who was receiving those checks are no longer with us. And every spouse needs to know that. You need to know that. It's important. Because if you don't, you're going to have to pay back the government money paid from the time that individual died. You have to return the money back to the government because that individual is no longer with us. Let me read on. Now, how to apply for VA dependency indemnity compensation. How do we do it? You apply for DIC benefits can be a vital step for surviving spouse and children or parents of veterans who died in service or from service-connected condition. Ours have bronchitis. You got a service connection of bronchitis or lung disease. Guess what? If I died from that, either one of those, right? Then that's considered service-connected. And spouse or the individual parents or the children can file a claim saying, hey, my dad did die, and of course, the death certificate must reflect that. You must, now here's the qualifying criteria. The veteran died while active duty, training, or from a service connection condition. You were married, you were married to the veteran for at least 1 year or had a child together. Okay? 1 year or had a child together. Anything less than that, you're not going to get it. You live continuously with the veteran until their death. That's a requirement. Ex-wife, if you move away from your husband, the veteran, and you haven't lived continuously with them until their death, and we're not at fault for the separation, or not at fault of the separation, it's not your fault, then that's something different. Or you are an unmarried child under 18 or under 23 if in school. Anything above that, you do not qualify. Or you are a parent with a limited income. I'm going to stop right there. You have to get the book for yourself. Get this book. It covers all the benefits. It covers the step-by-step process because I've been through it. I am 100%. I'm here to tell you, there's things out there that you don't know about that I'm benefiting from and I will use. And I have used. Don't miss out on your benefit. I've met guys who need a stair glide, didn't know they're eligible for a stair glide. I have met guys who are in wheelchairs who are eligible for a motorized chair or is eligible as a veteran for a homeowner that has a garage with steps. They couldn't make it. Somebody had to carry him through in the house through the steps, and then and then they had to grab the wheelchair and bring it in the house. Well, if you have a ramp, you wouldn't have to worry about that. That's a benefit. Or you can get one of those things called it's like a lift. I forgot the name that the prosthetic told me it was. I forgot the name of it because a lot of people get confused. But it's a tool. It's like an elevator. You press it, it lifts you up to that area high enough to pick you up to that floor so you can go to your house independently. That's it, guys. That's all I'm going to share today. I hope the information I share with you about these texts, these books. I have 72 published books. I have coloring books for children. I have coloring books for veterans. I have a book of theology, systematic, and I'm telling you, you will learn so much. That's why God led me to do this, to make an impact on humanity. Not just one side of humanity, but all humanity who have an interest in learning. Okay? Teachers, you got students, I have books that cover it. I mean, get the book. Share it with your students. All right? But anyway, we hope you have a good day. I'm going to cease now. This is Reverend Dr. Antonio, a.k.a. Beesmore Airborne, signing off. Have a good day.